Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Kinga. I started making YouTube videos right after my divorce to document for myself and my closest friend how I am reinventing myself and my whole life. If you're not a friend but you still find this video, take it as a sign from the universe, give it a like so others can find it, and also please consider subscribing to my channel for similar content. And also I make a lot of meditation, so that could be also useful. So before we get to the signs I got from the universe, I have to tell you that my marriage was beautiful, my divorce was emotional, loving and supporting, yet extremely difficult emotionally. My wedding was fun, and I'm not here to talk trash about my ex-husband in any way. I couldn't, even if I wanted to, because he's such a great person and an amazing husband as well. Just probably not for me. Those who know me know that I have nothing but love and respect for him. Even after divorce, we're still good friends. We are really thankful to each other for the 8 years we got to spend together, because it was just healing, but we had to go separate ways. Our love story wasn't a typical love story. It started off like a very special coming together, huge transitions, me selling everything and moving to a new country. Then it continued to be a deeply spiritual healing for both of us and ended as best friends. Our connection was missing the sexual chemistry, I believe. I don't really want to go into too much details, but I believe we are both attractive human beings, but our bond was just not sexual, intimate or romantic in any way. It was more like a sister-brother kind of love and, union, taking care of each other, helping the other grow and become a better version of ourselves. And I think this connection is probably something that has been with us for many, many, many lifetimes, and will probably lead us back to each other many times too in the future in different roles. It was essential for our growth to come together, and we have zero regrets, but we were not supposed to stay married. Maybe we were not even supposed to get married at the first place. Let me tell you why I think that. I could tell you about all the signs that I got from the universe, probably telling me not to get married. And in this video I also want to share with you what sign I got about 3 years after our wedding that made me just go home straight and tell him that we need to get divorced. And all this without him ever doing anything wrong or bad to me. He never hurt me, never cheated on me, he just loved me. So you might think that I was stupid to leave, but time has shown us that it was a necessary step, and we both benefited from it. Though we suffered, obviously. We grew more gray hair, lost a lot of hair, lost a lot of sleep over it, and I personally fell into depression and almost committed suicide. But now, being on the other side, finally arriving to the other side of pain and suffering, we are both looking, feeling better and stronger than ever before. Plus, it looks like we both finally found the love we wanted, needed, and deserved. So to be very honest, I think he would have never proposed to me. I think I was pressuring him into it. Not because he didn't want to spend the rest of his life with me, but more because marriage as an institution just never was on his mind, maybe. He actually told me that it never occurred to him as a necessary step. And I think I was feeling pressured by society and maybe my family, or maybe just myself, I don't know. But I really, really wanted to get married. I really did. And I knew that he was a good guy. And I remember I was bringing home these wedding catalogs and forced him to look through them with me so I could point out what rings I liked and which ones I hated. I really wanted him to create a romantic situation and propose to me in a way that would that I would always remember, and something I could tell the word and feel special. And I was such a control freak as well. I wanted him to do things the way I wanted and imagined in my head. Like, for example, I also wanted to make sure that he would not propose with a ring that had yellow gold in it, because back in those days I only liked silver and white gold. I mean, that's not changed, but I just wanted to make sure that he would get the ring I liked, because, like, come on, that thing is stuck with you for life, or at least a couple of years to come. And I guess I don't really trust people's taste when it comes to buying things for me, because I'm very, very particular about everything I have and own. So I was telling him that, hey, you see this and this is a no-no, I hate yellow gold, don't you ever think of buying something like that? But look at this and this is something I like. So the poor guy was not even thinking of proposing, probably, yet I was on his back with these catalogs, like, non-stop. So basically I implanted the idea in his head, in his mind, and I was reminding him and pressuring him every day. I just felt like if he wouldn't propose to me after 2 years, he wasn't serious and I should just leave. It was stupid of me. I know, I agree. I just always struggled with the fear of abandonment and not being wanted and all that. And I don't remember everything, but I may have even given him an ultimatum saying that, hey, you either propose or we move on. So one day, I think I was driving and he was sitting next to me in the car when he just said, okay, so shall we get married? That was it. That was the most unromantic proposal he could have ever come up with. It makes me laugh now, but then it was a different story. And the ring he got, you don't want to know. It was really ugly. I'm sorry to say, but it was really ugly and yellow. But hey, I mean, it was still a ring. I remember that by then I have been pressuring him so much that it was just like, oh, fucking finally. And then the next day I went to the solarium to get my suntan because that's not something you can get in Sweden during the winter. And I took my ring off because you're supposed to take all the metals off, and then I just put it on the side of the sunbed, and because I just wanted to make sure that I remember to put it back on after I'm done. But I just completely forgot about it and I left. And as soon as I realized that I forgot my ring, I ran back, and to be honest, not much time had passed, but my ring was just nowhere near, and I panicked. I asked everyone, you know, but no one saw it, and I was shocked because people don't really steal in Sweden, you know, no matter what you lose or leave, it will normally wait for you at the same spot you left it. But my ring was gone, and I was so embarrassed to tell my fiancé. But I was also kind of relieved and happy because it gave me the chance to get a new ring, something I could pick or design myself. So this could have been my first sign saying, don't get married, it's not gonna last, it will be short-lived. Or it could have also meant, Kinga, if you force it, it will never be yours. Let things come to you naturally. Maybe the universe wanted to teach me to follow the path of least resistance. I don't know, but it made me think how easily I just lost the ring I was so desperate to get. And I only had it for one day. Or maybe I lost it because the image I had in my mind of the ring that I wanted just looked so different, and this was the universe's way to help me get a ring I wanted. I don't know. You can get a sign from the universe, but how you interpret it is completely up to you. I remember that prior to this whole pressuring and proposing, I had been asking the universe if I should stay or leave. One night after I got home from work, I stayed in my car and was just thinking and begging the universe for a sign. After I went inside, I slipped and fell and suffered some serious knee injuries. I even had to get operated. But right after the injury, I was basically just unable to walk for months. And to be honest, I took it as a sign telling me, stay, since I couldn't go anywhere anymore. Even to the bathroom, I had to crawl on the floor to get there. So I took it as a message, you know, and I decided to stay. I didn't regret it. Okay, so let's go forward in time. Wedding. To be honest, I don't like weddings, and it's probably not the wedding that I wanted. I just wanted to be proposed to. I wasn't that desperate about getting married. I just wanted to be engaged. And I remember probably a couple of years after our engagement, I'm not really sure, we planned a trip to Croatia. But before that, we agreed to go visit our families in Hungary, and we did all the trip by car from Sweden because of our cat. And my mom said, why didn't you get married right before Croatia and take that as a honeymoon? I could set it all up for you, organize and finance it. And so we agreed, and we had only 1 or 2 weeks, maybe just 1 week, to get everything organized and ready. It was perfectly enough though. Like, I never wanted a big or like an over-organized wedding that you just plan for a year and spend all your money on it. You know, I just wanted friends and my family to be present and have a fun time together. We rejected the idea of wearing a traditional wedding clothes and you know, this big fluffy white dress. For me, I never wanted that. I think we still looked very nice. I ordered the flowers, I booked a wedding photographer, one of my aunts ordered a cake, my mom had a nice location set up for us, and she also arranged food. I sent out invitations on Facebook, and we were ready to go. We didn't want anything big or fancy, just, you know, just casual, light, fun and easy. And I did my non-existent makeup that I always do. A friend did my hair, but there were some unexpected surprises, issues that I had to face last minute. The flower shop cancelled like 2 days before the wedding because they had some family illness. And then the wedding photographer cancelled on us because he took a bigger wedding, and I was like, you know, I can't just go and book another photographer when it's like high season in the middle of summer, and come on, like, it's a wedding. People normally book in advance, like even 1 year advance. So what I did, I actually called an ex-boyfriend of mine who was gastro, I don't know how you pronounce it, photographer. So basically he takes photos of food, right? And I asked him, I'm like, dude, you have to help us. And he finally agreed. So that was a lifesaver. And then we actually had to make our own flowers and decorations, like my flower bouquet and then the flower bouquets that we gave to our mothers. So, I mean, we fixed everything, but it was just like, oh my God, like everyone is canceling on us. What's going on? But that's not it. The wedding cake never arrived. My auntie went to get it, but it turned out that they completely forgot about the order, which was kind of crazy. It was bizarre because they knew us, you know, we always ordered cakes from them. But then they made one last minute and they delivered it to us later that day, during which I was in the swimming pool with my friends and cousins. And by the time we got back, the elderly people from our family and everyone who stayed behind just ate the cake. Like, I guess it just didn't occur to them that, hey, I was supposed to cut it up and serve and all that, you know. They just ate it. They ate it all. We never even got to taste it. I actually don't even know what my cake looked like. I was kind of mad about it. Were all these signs that our marriage was doomed and it would never last, or it was pointless to get married? Maybe. Maybe I was just tested, you know, by the universe. Like, hey, show us how much you really want to do this despite all the obstacles and the things failing. I don't know. But I now look at them as signs signaling me that it all will be short-lived, but fun, you know. Okay, so as I told you, I already had this question in my head prior to the engagement, prior to the wedding, like, shall I leave? Shall I stay? I just felt so unsettled and uncertain. I just felt that something had to change. Maybe at one point I thought the marriage would fix everything. I don't know, but something was bothering me inside. But I had no real reason to leave. And then the wedding just happened and it quieted this inner voice in me for a while. But that frustration never truly went away. And the question kept coming back, shall I go or shall I stay? I tell you what was the sign that completely helped me make my mind up and led us to divorce. By then, and this is like 3 years after our wedding, I just felt this inner frustration again, and I felt that something had to be done. There was the obvious sexual connection missing that I told you, and I was seriously worried that it would affect our health long term, or that I would cheat on him. And that's something I didn't want to happen because marriage was sacred to me. But I also knew that I didn't want to carry on like this, you know. However, I had no reason to leave, and my life was nice and easy with him. We were a good team. So I was just, you know, struggling, like not knowing what to do, trying to silence this inner voice. And I was very connected to my higher guidance by then. I was praying and meditating every day and generally felt very connected. So one morning during my meditation, I said, please, universe, give me a sign. Tell me what to do. And I remember walking on the street later that day, my handbag hanging on my arm and my hand and my fingers, my palm facing upwards, holding my phone. And one important detail you have to know, like I wasn't wearing my ring for a while because I was working with ceramics every day and I just didn't want to take it off and, you know, give the chance to lose it again. So I just rather stopped wearing it for a while. But for some reason that day, I don't know why, but I just felt so inspired to put my ring back on. And I remember walking like this, and as I was describing it to you, and I suddenly hear this metallic sound and I look down and I see my ring rolling away from me on the ground. And I look back to my hand and my hand is still in the same position. And I'm like, what just happened? You know, I wasn't even sure it was my ring first because it could have never fallen off my finger. But the ring wasn't on my finger. And I was just, what happened? So I picked up the ring, I put it on my finger. And I remember I was kind of struggling to put it back on because it was really the perfect size. It could have never slipped off. I never lost it. It was even a struggle to put it back on. And I was like, how was it possible for me to lose it? Like completely unexplainable. It all felt so strange, so, I don't know, it was just so like mystical, you know, but I felt like this was the clear answer to my question. So I went home, sat down with my then husband, and I said, I think we should get a divorce. It broke my heart having to break his. We talked, and then finally agreed to do it. And then the rest is history. So what do you think of my signs? Would you have interpreted them the way I did? Do you ever ask for signs from the universe yourself? How do you read them? How do you know what they mean? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to read from you. Like, subscribe, and see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.